नमस्कार एंड थैंक यू ऑल फॉर जॉइनिंग टुडेज सेशन। अभी हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे हनुमान। हाउ फार डिड हनुमान जंप? बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ अस वी हम लोग बात करते हैं कि हनुमान जी ने 100 योजन लंबा जंप किया। एंड आई विल बी स्पीकिंग फ्रॉम माय बुक। एक है द ग्लोबल फुटप्रिंट ऑफ रामायण विच इज लॉन्च्ड इन इंडिया थ्रू कपोत पब्लिकेशंस इन प्रिंट। वेरी ब्यूटीफुल कॉपी एंड दिस इज इन द यूएस एंड द वेस्ट। इट्स कॉल्ड वन एरो वन किल। और कितना दूर वो जंप किए। तो उसके पहले लाइक द बिफोर वी इवन बिगिन देयर वी नीड टू आल्सो डिस्कस अबाउट व्हाट इज द वानरा। हमने एक ऑलरेडी शो कर चुके हैं दैट हाउ डिड ब्रह्मा ही टोल्ड विच वानर टू कम ऑन अर्थ। लाइक उन्होंने सारी देवताओं पे he ordered before Vishnu comes, everybody has to come down. तो मैं आपको अपनी बुक से ही पढ़ के बताता हूँ because I've written everything in a simple language so people can understand and people do not confuse themselves कि what kind of weapons or वानर कौन है. All these things are there, so which वानर came from who? So it's on the page. If you look at my book One Arrow One Kill, उसका नाम के पीछे भी हिस्ट्री है. Why I kept the name One Arrow One Kill? Because the 103 पेज पे 103. So it's a big book. I mean medium sized, easy to read. तो उसमें कौन सा बंदर या कौन कौन सा देवता किस योनि में आया, किसकी योनि में आया, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन. जैसे लोग बोलते हैं वानरा, कुछ लोग बोलते हैं वानरा मतलब मंकी नहीं है, शर्म आती है उनको. तो ब्रह्मा पूछते हैं सभी देवताओं को. ही सेज प्रोड्यूस पावरफुल ऑफस्प्रिंग्स लाइक योरसेल्फ फ्रॉम अप्सरा, मेन अप्सरा, ब्रह्म फ्रॉम अपर. एंड अप्सरों का कितना नंबर होता है अकॉर्डिंग टू वाल्मीकि? इट्स ऑलमोस्ट 600 मिलियन अप्सरा. 600 मिलियन, इतने अप्सरा है. 60 करोड़, 60 करोड़. एंड देन उसका भी एक अलग कैटेगरी है, कौन है कितना. तो जैसे रीछ जो है जाम्बवान, वो ब्रह्मा के मुख से आए हैं, जाम्बवान. एंड देन वाली जो है इंद्र से आए हैं. सूर्य केम सुग्रीवा, फ्रॉम सूर्य केम सुग्रीवा. एंड फ्रॉम बृहस्पति केम तारा, which is another great wanderer. And Tara was considered very intelligent. And कुबेर से आए गंधमादन, वानर का नाम है. विश्वकर्मा से आए नल, जिन्होंने नल सेतु बनाया, जिसने नल सेतु बनाया. अश्विनी कुमार से आए मंद और द्विविद. वरुण से आए सुषेण. और महाबली पर्जन्य से आए शरभ. वायुदेव से आए हनुमान. हनुमान के बारे में लिखा है, अलग से लिखा है कि गरुड़ के समान तेज चलने वाले और सबसे ज्यादा इंटेलिजेंट और सबसे ज्यादा शक्तिशाली. तो उसके बारे में एक अलग स्टोरी है कि किस तरह जो है, जब हम दक्षिण दिशा की बात करते हैं, दक्षिणी दिशा में किस तरह जब सर्च करने गए सब वानर, तो दक्षिणी दिशा जो है वो सबसे डिफिकल्ट दिशा थी इन द सेंस कि दक्षिण दिशा के बारे में कुछ मालूम नहीं. और सबको ये तो मालूम था कि रावण दक्षिण दिशा में रहता है. तो जो है सुग्रीव जो के जो सुग्रीव जो है वो सभी वानरों के राजा हैं. तो सभी वानरों को एक तरीके से डर भी लगता है सुग्रीव से. दे आर ऑल स्केयर्ड ऑफ सुग्रीव. तो हनुमान के बारे में बहुत सारी कथाएं हैं. जैसे उन्होंने उनका हनु, उनकी जो ठोड़ी है उस पे इंद्र के वज्र से मार पड़ी है और इंद्र ने साथ में आशीर्वाद भी दिया है. सो इंद्र पनिशमेंट भी दे रहे हैं, साथ में आशीर्वाद भी दे रहे हैं, क्योंकि वायु पुत्र है. वायु सबसे शक्तिशाली देवता माने जाते हैं सभी देवताओं में, बिकॉज हिज पावर इज इनॉर्मस. तो आप देखेंगे वायु पुत्र भीम शक्तिशाली, वायु पुत्र हनुमान. और वायु, हनुमान और भीम मिलते भी हैं महाभारत में. कदली वन में, हिमालय की तरफ, जब वो द्वैत वन के साथ वो मेरी नई पुस्तक में आने वाला है, ये सब चीज़ें तो ज़रूर देखिएगा, नया पुस्तक आने वाला है शॉर्टली, ऑलमोस्ट। बहुत दिनों से लिख रहा हूँ, लेकिन बहुत समय लगता है बुक्स लिखने के लिए, बहुत रिसर्च करनी पड़ती है और खुद को भी समझना पड़ता है। इट्स नॉट जस्ट यू राइटिंग फॉर अदर्स, यू मोस्टली राइट फॉर आवर सेल्स। और फिर उसको फिर जब हनुमान जी उसको मिलते हैं तो हनुमान जी उसको बताते हैं कि कितना दूर था लंका। लंका के बारे में हम लोग अलग शो कर चुके हैं कि समुद्र के बीचों बीच है ना। तो हनुमान जी कैसे गए, किधर से गए, ये बहुत जरूरी है जानना, किधर से गए। जैसे एक मुझे लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं कभी कभी कि हनुमान जी एक बड़ा साधारण से व्यक्ति होंगे। बिल्कुल साधारण नहीं है, असाधारण है। पहली बार when हनुमान meets श्री राम, Sugriva sends the most intelligent Vanara, most educated, most civilized, and very powerful to meet Sri Ram and Lakshman because he was scared. तो वो अपनी गुफा के अंदर घुस गया. So then when Hanuman comes to meet Sri Ram, so Sri Ram's observation is very important about him. So Sri Ram tells Lakshman that this person has done all tapasya, he has studied all Veda, his language shows that how civilized this person is. See, भगवान विष्णु को इसी प्रकार के व्यक्ति अच्छे लगते हैं, जो सिविलाइज्ड हो, सभ्य हो, जिनका मन उत्तेजित ना हो, शील स्वभाव हो. These are the people whom Vishnu likes, and that's why that is also called civilized person. And civilization is the word civilization actually, according to me, only applies to Vedic civilization. Nobody else has civilization. क्योंकि कहीं पर भी, like if you start analyzing other cultures from the Vedic point of view, then everyone comes lower. There is no one which is comes even close. आपको कहीं भी ऐसा दिखेगा नहीं कि like in other cultures and anywhere else you see people coming even close to the Vedic culture. But when you come from the Vedic point of view, the standards are very high, very very high, in terms of culture, in terms of language, in terms of behavior, in terms of expectations. Everything is higher. One of the things which really struck me when I was researching this book, that Hanuman was actually made to forget about his powers, which was given by Brahma himself. All the important powers in this world, which are superhuman, are given by Brahma, because human being from his own endeavor cannot attain a lot, can attain few things like building a cart or building a motor vehicle or building a tool or an appliance. But anything to superhuman, like which is destroying the laws of gravity or laws of nature, cannot be done in a human being, for which you need permission or access. And that's why tapasya becomes the way to get that access. you know. So in the case of Hanuman also, he was given these powers by Brahma. ने उनको इतना, इनके वरदान दिए कि वो सृष्टि के जो हमारे जो साधारण नियम है उसके विपरीत कार्य कर सकते हैं. जैसे जो मैमल्स हैं, जो मनुष्य है या फिर जानवर है, हम लोग उड़ नहीं सकते. वो क्षमता पक्षियों में है, लेकिन हमारे अंदर नहीं है. हम लोग प्लेन का सहारा लेके उड़ सकते हैं, हम टूल यूज करके उड़ सकते हैं, लेकिन हम स्वयं नहीं उड़ सकते हवा में, है ना. हम लोग नहीं कर सकते. सो दैट, इफ यू वांट टू ब्रेक दैट साइकिल, ब्रेक दैट ट्रैवल का जो रूल्स है, then devatas help us, and generally it is Brahma who gives these powers to anyone who wants to gain them, but again with a prior qualification. So before Vishnu comes, the entire, the all the armies, everything, all the paraphernalia, all the what do you call, collections of people, everything is sent together before that. So this is exactly happened before, after. So before Ram came, all these people were already sent. Your Brahma had made all the arrangements so that Bhagwan Ram's visit to earth is successful. Yeah, and Hanumanji Swam himself says to Bhim, he says that I could have personally killed Ravan, but the killing of Ravan was only associated to Sri Ram. That was the purpose of his visit here. And so we all came to assist Sri Ram, and we will be here till the time Ramayan is being sung or glorified. And Brahmaji Ashirwad bhi dete hain. That Brahmaji says that as long as there are rivers and uh, and as long as there are rivers and mountains on this planet, Sri Ramayan's Ram's glories will be sung everywhere, everywhere. Hmm? So I'll now come to the. I have already proved in one of my book also. If some of you are reading the book Global Footprint of Ramayan or One Arrow One Kill, either of them, because One Arrow One Kill is available mostly in the West, and even now from India it is getting shipped. This is the book which I have the colored copy, and in India all books are colored. So that is a beauty, and Indian print is way better than American print. Actually, I can tell you that this is American print, and the Indian print is way better, way better. So that is done by Kapoor Publications. Those of you who have received the Indian print, you'll find the quality to be very good, one of the best qualities. So the Sugriv's opinion about Hanuman is very important. Sugriv tells Hanuman, in terms of speed, intelligence, and knowledge, there is no one that can equal you. He tells, you are the master of Niti and Nyaya. Niti means logic, Nyaya means reasoning or justice. So nobody can obstruct your path on earth, ocean, Akash, Prithvi, Samudra, Akash, and even Antariksh. So, so then uh, Hanuman was the most important key for search of Sita in the south direction. We already discussed the other directions on many shows. We have done it on Sattology. We have done 4 videos on that, and we have done a series on India Speaks Daily. If you want to hear that conversation, me and Sandeep Devji, please watch that video, India Speaks Daily. So there I have covered that in detail with him, along with the maps. Now, Patratva, it is very important. And also see Bhagwan, when Bhagwan comes to you, he doesn't appear in front of anyone. Bhagwan comes according to your qualification, according to your patratva. You have to develop that patratva. Just like even in the mundane world, like a day-to-day life also, you get what you earn or you perform a work for. You don't get what you deserve. You have to understand one thing. You get what you are qualified for. You don't get what you deserve. We don't deserve anything in the world. But because when there is a value seeing in our endeavor, then we get something. Same is the case with approaching Bhagwan. That you build your qualification in such a way that he comes to you. You don't have to approach. So most of the Rishi Munis, great sages, Rishi Muni, they stay in one place, do their tapasya, and you'll see Bhagwan coming down to meet them. So that's the science of seeing. Now here Hanumanji is very qualified. Hanumanji did not propose himself to be going out for search of Sita. It was Sugriv who suggested. Sugriv. So after Sugriv introduced him, because Sugriv said there is no one I can see anyone like other than Hanuman. Sri Ram told Hanuman that I have taken your shelter, and in any way which you are able to find Sita, perform that karma. Now you proceed. He ordered him. Now you go ahead, and he ordered him. Now you go ahead and search for Sita. This south team, the Dakshin Disha, was the last to leave, because after they exhausted east, north, and west, then they went to the south, and the leader of the search party was Angad. Why? Because these first of all, Angad had unique quality. The people who were sent in the south, they could see things in the night also, And even the dark cages, they could live on without water for 15 days, 20 days for Sri Ram. And then they went to the family of Tapasvi Swayamprabha, who was Maidanav. They spent whole month searching in that cave, Maidanav's cave, whole month. And then they decided, because Sugriv had already given the time of only 1 month, not more than 1 month. So they stayed in the cave and they did not want to come back. So uh, Angad, Angad, the son of actually Wali, Sugriv, Wali actually, was a very good leader. He had 26 qualities of a leader, 26 qualities. So he was the leader of the South Party. And then we all know Jambavan. And here the question is Mahindra Giri. So the Jambavan asked Jatayu, where is Sita? Now this gives the clue which Mahindra Giri they're talking about. Because oftentimes there is a big confusion and debate. Mahindra Giri is in Odisha. There is a Mahindra Parvat in Cambodia also. Don't go by the name. You have to go by the exact location. Cambodia also is in the middle of the forest. Okay, there's a Shiv temple in Cambodia. That's also called Mahindra Parvat because Indra was worshipped one time in Cambodia also. Indra has been worshipped in many parts of the earth, including in Georgia, in Europe, and many parts of Ural Mountains. Indra has been worshipped. Indra has been worshipped in South America also. Patal. On Prithvi, the Patal is South America. And Indra has been worshipped in Jambudvip, Meru Parvat. Meru Parvat, very we all know that Dwarka. We'll do a separate show on Dwarka. But the real dimensions of Dwarka, Ayodhya, we'll do a separate show on that with the maps, with the Google Maps. But Indra is worshipped in Jambudvip also, which is called Khan Tegri. Khan Tegri is Meru Parvat. If you search in Mongolia, that's the place where it's called Meru. South of that is Mandrachal, and then you have Shatashinga Mountains, then Gandhamadan, and then after that you have Himalaya, and then you have uh, Prishta Himalaya, like the lower Himalaya, and then you have the plains. This is the mountain structure of Jambudvip, and I can tell very confidently because for two of my books, I've researched this thoroughly. I've gone through every single option, and I have studied Sanskrit letter by letter by letter, and then came to all these conclusions. Therefore, I'm a little confident on that. And I am not too confident because I'm always willing to learn. So here, the Jambavan asked Jatayu, "Where is Sita? Who kidnapped her?" Sampati, sorry. Sampati said that my nephew Suparshva uh, was there as he was looking down from Mahendragiri into the ocean for food. Suparshva. And I saw a very dark, ugly looking man dragging a beautiful woman. And I stopped them to make them food for my day. And somebody told me they were round. Now, here the important thing is looking down from the Mahendragiri into the ocean for food. Okay, looking down from Mahendragiri into the ocean for food. Now, tell me, and I will open the map here. Actually, let me see if I can open the map. Uh, Google Earth. Okay, you'll be shocked too. We'll do a little bit of research here. Google Earth, because everything we have to check also. Now, if some of you can see my screen, can you see my screen right now? No. Let me do that. Share screen, Chrome tab, Google Earth, share. दिख रहा है अभी? Yes. Can you see that? Okay. So we will let this run on the side here. Okay. So let me now go to um, uh, Okay, now if you see that my screen, slowly we'll start zooming in. Okay, now and we'll because I get asked these questions all the time. Okay, so we'll resolve the problem here. So if we see uh, Perrier Agastya Malai, okay, one more. You see this here, Mahendragiri. You see this? If you are seeing this, just say yes or something. Okay. You see exactly Mahendragiri. Now this is a very high mountain. If I make it 3 degrees, you see the Samudra is easily visible here. If you see make it 3 degrees, then you see Samudra is directly visible here, right? Yeah. So if you see this, you can see the Samudra easily visible there. Now let us go to. So I don't want to be and let us, because we have to analyze all the aspects. Okay. So we will zoom out and we'll go little north. We'll go to here, and you have to look in the south direction. Okay. And you have to add many things to that also. So we'll search on Mahendragiri, Odisha. This is Mahendragiri, Odisha. No, Mahendragiri, Odisha. You say you have to add many things to that. So Mahendragiri, Odisha. If you see, uh, this is Mahendragiri, Odisha. This is the region. Somewhere is there. So there is no Kishkinda in the north. There is no Pampa Sarovar in the north. Okay. There is no Janasthan in the north. Janasthan is, if you look at the Odisha Mahendragiri, Janasthan is exactly here. Janasthan is Nashik. Okay. There is no, and this Mahendragiri is right on the extreme, is parallel, almost parallel, same line as Nashik. You know, and also there is no Kishkinda in the north. There is no, Kishkinda Pampa Sarovar is in this area, then goes south further. There is no movement. Bhagwan moved in entire Janasthan. This is all Janasthan. Then he comes to Nashik. Then he comes to Pampa Sarovar, and then he comes down and waits here 4 months. Then he comes here. This incident, which is happening here, which is happening here. And if I put a map here, so if I put a map 800 miles here, like for example, we can do all those things here. Like if I put it here, Odisha, and distance is in miles. You know, 800 miles from here to Sri Lanka. Exactly 800 miles. Now we close this. Okay. Now we do, but there is no Kishkinda in the north. There is no Pampa Sarovar in the north. Nothing. So if you do the same map here, now the Shastras are very clear. They look down. The exact words are, so when he was looking down, Sampati said, when he was looking down from Mahendragiri into the ocean for food, he saw Ravan and his wife and dragging a woman, Sita. And so he shouted at his son, why didn't you fight? So atha pavana mana vikrama plagavara pratilabdha paurusha and abhijab vidit mukhadisham yayu janana sutap parimarg nonmukha. And so he reached the banks. So they started searching in the direction of Abhijit Nakshatra. Abhijit Nakshatra is always near the equator. Okay, so it's right near the equator. And they reached the banks of the ocean. To cross over the ocean, they had to jump for 100 yojana. So they started discussing amongst themselves. Yeah. And so there is a Hanuman is a son of Anjana. Anjana was Punjik Sthala Apsara. Punjik Sthala Apsara, who was born to Kunjar. She was married to Kesari. That's why you saw Kesari Nandan. So, who had actually once jumped to catch sun, Surya Dev. So, Mahendra Parvat, Hanuman showed his powers to all the Vanara. He saw Mahendra Parvat from all sides. Then he stood on top of the hill. That's where we saw exactly. So, there, the Mahendra hill is right here. If you see the map here, so again we'll use the miles. Okay, so we set up the position here and use miles, and around 800 miles comes here, 1000 miles comes here, 800 miles are here. Anything less than that doesn't show Hanuman. Hanuman is so powerful. From there to Sri Lanka, but you miss out everything. Kishkinda, everything you miss out. You miss out all the northern travel, everything you miss out. You know, because you reach the island, and Sri Lanka is called Simhala Dweep. Is not called Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is 1972 name. So then he comes down, and then he jumps 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 yojana, which is, some people say one yojana is 8 miles. Some people say one yojana is 9 miles or 10 miles also. Some people even say 7. Okay. So, but if you look at that, there is I have shown this so many times, but I'll show one more time across this. So in the Ramayan, Valmiki Ramayan, there's a reference, and it's in my book. Those of you who got the book, they have actually seen that. You know and they those of you who have seen my book and who have got the book, you will see the maps big time laid out. So there is a shloka also I've attached over there, that how many miles he jumped. So if you see those maps, you'll be shocked to see that Valmiki Ramayana explains about a line in the ocean, a line mountain in the ocean, which is like a line which is cutting the sky. You know? Now, if you want to go deep into them, you see these territories now. It looks like a huge mountain range. You see under the mountain range, and the you see all these islands. If you move the ocean down by 150 meters, which was during the time of Mahabharat, this ocean must be much more lower at the time of Ramayana, much more lower. And there are many proofs, many studies. Then all these lands come up. Right now, even those lands do not come up. You know? So there are many uh, islands which are named with still in the name of old Ramayana also, like Fuvamula. This is a word, but there is a Punjak Sthala, Vilgili. These are all some of them are the names of the monkeys also, Vanara, who are there. So you see the entire description here. So jumping from here to here, this is seems possible for Hanuman. There is no reason to jump the ocean here when the ocean levels are so low. You can see the map. This was all connected, and this was a small stream of water here flowing through. There was no big ocean, nothing. Small stream of water. Even few hundred years back, you could have crossed over by land these two areas. So during Ramayana period, this was Simhala Dweep. always Simaladweep because a small stream of land. Even today, there are many parts of this bridge you can cross by walking. Many parts of the bridge. Same story with many other parts of lands. Like I'll tell you, same story about the ocean is in many parts of the world. Let me again, in my other book, like Gold, Glory, and God, I have shared this particular map of the earth. Now, very clearly, if you look at few hundred years, few thousand years, couple of thousand years, this whole land was connected. They have, like, this map is not being shown on Google Earth because of naval satellites and all kinds of things which is happening there. But this land was connected also, Bering Strait. And I will also cover some of the Krishna's descriptions also. Krishna's description where uh, he tells during the Ratsui Yagya, he says that the Nimna Koti Kshatriya ran towards the east and remaining Kshatriyas ran towards the west. So people who ran towards the east from Bharat, they actually crossed over because of Parshuram to North America. You see that the time totally matching. North American population and the genes. Indian genes are all over in USA because Native Americans, I'm talking about Native Americans who went from Alaska down to south, and also the second migration happened, which we'll cover later on. But Hanuman jumping 100 yojana is a fact, material fact. And why it cannot be any other Mahendragiri? There are multiple Mahendragiris there. Mahendragiri is in Cambodia also. Mahindra Parvat it is called. So, so, so this is the story of Hanuman. What we as people can learn from Hanuman, which is more important. Hanuman was well read in Veda. He knew about Itihas very well. His conversation with Bhim can tell you many things. Now, he was a very controlled speaker. He spoke like in Bhagavad Gita, it says, Anudaya Karam Vakyam Satyam Pretam Trayat. Third is, he learned the habit of discipline from Sri Ram also. Sri Ram was always exercising, getting up in the morning. He had a very strong body, always exercising. Hanuman Dand is very famous, and Hanuman is maintains his health, controls his mind, and is firm. Because see, without Vedic knowledge, the entire Vedic knowledge you can read in 700 shloka of Bhagavad Gita. You don't have to read the whole Veda. Just become the master of 700 shloka. You should be knowing which page what is Krishna has said, because Krishna is Bhagavad Gita means whatever Krishna is speaking to you is the summary of entire Veda in 700 shloka. He says, Matta Smriti Jnana Papancha Vedeshta Sarver Aham Vedyo Vedanta Krit Veda Videvacham. Without Bhagavad Gita will give you a synopsis of the entire Veda. So simply by reading that, you actually get to see the entire Veda. You don't have to go through the four Veda and Purana. Nothing. Just one Gita is enough. So when you become masters in that, and I always say that the youth must always focus on exercising. Vyayam. Both women and men, both are required. They both must focus on that because physical, healthy body, healthy mind through japa. Healthy body doesn't make healthy mind. The mind has to be trained in yoga, and the mind has to chant the mantra. Mantra makes the mind peaceful. So healthy body doesn't lead to healthy mind. This is a Western theory. For mind, we have different exercises. For body, we have different exercises. Okay, vyayam for the body and mantra for the mind. These two have to be combined. That's why when you do Surya Namaskar, in Surya Namaskar, we combine the mantra and the vyayam. So most of the Western world, when they call something as yoga, it is not yoga, that's vyayam. Yoga means you are actually focusing on Paramatma. That is a yoga. Without Paramatma, exercise has no meaning. Yoga means when you connect with Paramatma, when you connect with Bhagwan, Hari, Vishnu, then it becomes yoga. Otherwise, it's vyayam, just exercise. So they don't understand. See, like, see, the thing is, with the Western world, they are, most of them, they do not understand anything. Everything is superficial. That's why they are very happy with the church. Church is very happy because it's a very light things they tell, and they think that just give them the money, ask them to shut up. This is pretty much goes on with the church. Very shallow lectures. If you go attend any lecture in the church, you'll be so shocked that our Gita levels of lectures are so deep. They like transcend many boundaries. But the lectures there are very, very shallow. Like, I've attended many of them. I speak also in many places. I go and give lecture. So Hanumanji did jump 100 yojana, and 100 yojana means 800 miles. He did jump. He had the power. If he could go to the sun, and why I say this is a fact, Valmiki is not here to write a fiction story. Bhagwan Ram verified it, you know, and many other people verified it. Even Jambavan verified it, who is the son of Brahma. So there is a multiple sources of verification, and none of these people they lie. And Hanumanji himself says it. Markandeya Rishi himself says it in Mahabharata. So when such great personalities come, like I tell you, the most credible source for a child on this earth, who is that person? Mother. Most credible. Mother and father, for a small child, there is nothing beyond them. Nobody can go beyond mother and father for a small child. Similarly, for us, the most credible people to believe are the great ancient sages, great rishis, maharishi, like Markandeya, Pulastya. There is no one more credible than that. Everyone else, even the Stephen Hawkings and all those things, because you cannot trust them. They're all working on money. Our Rishi Munis don't take money. They are doing it purely for the sake of tapasya. They have no other objective. Unfortunately, today is not a single government funds Sanatan Dharma. Nobody. Where I expect the US government and Indian government and any other government of the world must invest all their resources in Sanatan Dharma, all the temples, because that is the only platform of peace. When people's minds are trained, they'll be peaceful. If their minds are not trained, they will not be peaceful. And that option is only in Sanatan Dharma. But out of jealousy, they think it's a Hindu thing, and they don't do it. And the Christianism has never brought peace anywhere. They've killed more people than anyone else in the name of religion. And same is true with any other Abrahamism faiths. Islamism, they also killed more people. But Sanatan Dharma is one platform which is all about peace. Because if a simple person is not peaceful in the mind, then he's going to do crazy things. Only through yoga and mantra that we get peace. Hanuman was trained in that. The biggest example of we see in our culture, then many of the Adi Sankaracharya, most of them asked every village to have Hanuman Mandir and a Hanuman Akhada. I don't see it happening anywhere in India. Nowhere. I don't see that happening. And unless we have akhadas everywhere, young people, young men are trained in that akhada, strong body, strong mind, and study of shastra, then actually we will be able to attain a great peace in the society. So it is important that on the basis of Valmiki Ramayan, we must uh, train our children to become like Hanuman, especially our youth. Youth must take up. I feel that nowadays children are mature at the age of 9, 10. They understand more things than what people used to understand before because of technology. You know, and so we have to train. We have to start taking them more seriously, start training them, and then gradually we'll see a revival of this consciousness. You know, I'll take few questions here. I have still 20 minutes here. So The question here is, sir, please make a series on Sanatan Dharma back from beginning till now. Vijay Shahji, it has been covered in many of my books. You can search Sattology on Amazon, you get all my books. Most of this is I've covered there. I will not cover the history of the kings, which has been mentioned in Bhagavad Puran and mentioned in Mahabharata, by mentioned in many other Puran also, and Veda. Rig Veda mentions a lot of kings' names. Okay, I've not done that, and I will not do that because it's already written over there. But in one of the sessions, I might do that. Some of the book. First of all, thank you, Deepak Rastogi ji, for reading my book, and I hope you're liking it and you're reading it. And सब लोग जाम्बवाद जी बहुत ताकतवर थे. शक्तिमान चैनल, यस, बहुत ताकतवर थे जाम्बवान, बहुत ज़्यादा ताकतवर. And then please make a series Sanatana Dharma book from beginning till now. MLA, 4 MLA. Thank you, Anil Gautam ji. And which makes it possible to do impossible thing. Okay, okay, Shilpa ji. And संपूर्ण रामायण में है पूर्व प्रथम कथा युक्तम दोनों है. इन दोनों कारणों की कथा युक्त समझे कि पूर्वतम दृष्टिकोण दे. Actually, this is a good question. Robert Cool. Your name is funny here. Robert Cool. पूर्ववृतम कथा युक्तम. Actually, कथा के माध्यम से आपको पढ़ाया जाता है. और ये कथाएं जो हैं, कथा मतलब अथ कथा, मतलब ऐसा हुआ, पहले हुआ, यही अर्थ होता है कथा का, पहले हुआ. तो ये जो इतिहास है उसके माध्यम से आप ज्यादा सीखते हैं, है ना. जो वेस्टर्न इंडोलॉजिस्ट हैं उनके पास कोई इतिहास नहीं है. जी, वेस्टर्न यूरोपियन एनलाइटनमेंट स्टार्टेड इन 16th सेंचुरी. उसके पहले कोई एनलाइटनमेंट नहीं था वहां पे, सब बत्ती गुल. तो धीरे धीरे जब भारत से चोरी करते रहे वेदों को, उसके बाद उनका ज्ञान बढ़ना शुरू हुआ. तो तो हमको अपने ऋषि मुनियों पर ज्यादा ध्यान देना है जिनको चोरी करके यूरोपियंस आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, है ना. अभी आजकल वो लोग ज्यादा फॉलो करने की कोशिश करते हैं, वीगनिज्म, वेजिटेरियनिज्म. 60 मिलियन अमेरिकन जो योगा टुडे, वो भारत में हम लोग कंप्लेन करते हैं कन्वर्जन का. यहाँ पे तो 1/5 पॉपुलेशन कन्वर्ट हो चुका है, हिंदू बन चुका है वेस्ट में, है ना. भारत में उल्टा चल रहा है. भारत में जहां भी आप देखेंगे इस्लामिज्म कंट्रीज हैं, सारी फेल हो गई हैं. इस्लामिज्म सब फेल होती जा रही है. ओनली हिंदू कल्चर इज सर्वाइविंग बिकॉज ऑफ पीपल लाइक हनुमान. दिस इज व्हाट दे आर सर्वाइविंग. तो ये हमारा तो बढ़ते रहेगा. एंड दूसरा आपका पॉइंट है कथा युक्तम. तो आई होप यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड द कनेक्शन, है ना. सिखाने के लिए टू मेक इट डिलीवरी वेरी पॉसिबल, स्ट्रॉन्ग. स्टार यूजर बोल रहे हैं अनेबल टू डोनेट फ्रॉम ऑस्ट्रेलिया. आई सी दैट प्रॉब्लम ऑल द टाइम. तो आप ट्राई करिए बिकॉज आई कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग ऑन गूगल ऑन दिस थिंग. बट यू कैन ऑल्सो ट्राई द sattology.com वेबसाइट और everydaychan.com ऑल्सो. और हम लोग के बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स चलते हैं. अमेरिका में कॉलेज प्रीचिंग है, एंड फॉर लास्ट 17 ईयर्स हमारे हरिनाम जप चलता है everydaychan.com. उसमें डेली बहुत सारे थाउजेंड्स ऑफ अमेरिकन ज्वाइन टू लिसन टू आवर क्लासेस. वहाँ पे डेली वी हैव बीन रनिंग डेली भागवतम क्लास इन द मॉर्निंग. वी हैव बीन रनिंग डेली भगवद गीता क्लास इन द इवनिंग फॉर 17 years now. And we have daily japa in the morning, Harinam japa, 2 hours every day, 5:40 to 7:20. And people join before that. People join at 4:30 also sometimes. And so it is going on every day for last 17, 18 years. So we have been consistent in our seva in North America. Okay? And many people from other countries are also joining actually nowadays. So we have daily a different speaker speaks Gita class and daily speakers give Bhagavad Puran. So we'll cover a difference also sometime. Dhananjay Dogaonkar. So when you support Sattology, you're supporting Japa, you're supporting college preaching, you're supporting our books and also our travels. And also when Sattology India comes up, you're also supporting our local projects because we want to go to every single school and college in India. With Sattology 12x debunking mythology course. You can also join Sattology at sattology.org. You can join. You can write articles on Sattology.org. You can, like, there are many opportunities we have and many platforms we have created over the years. कि भविष्य पर पुस्तक लिखी जा सकती है, ये क्वेश्चन जो है ना धनंजय दगांवकर जी, सनातन धर्म का ना भविष्य है ना अतीत है, पास्ट भी नहीं है, फ्यूचर भी नहीं है। क्यों? ये परमानेंट है। फ्यूचर उसका होता है जिसका पास्ट नहीं था। सनातन धर्म का अर्थ ही ये है, आत्मा और परमात्मा का रिश्ता कभी अंत ही नहीं होता। तो सनातन धर्म का ना अतीत है ना भविष्य है। समझे आप? थोड़ा सोचने का नजरिया बदलिए। आत्मा कभी मर सकती है तो सनातन धर्म कैसे जाएगा? तो ये बेकार की बातें जो है ना, वी हैव टू स्टॉप इट बिकॉज वी आर अनएजुकेटेड टॉक्स हैं ये, दीज आर। सनातन धर्म का भविष्य, आत्मा का भविष्य होता है? आत्मा तो आत्मा है। ओके। इनका है, was रावण नॉट दैट फेमस ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम, पीपल डिड नॉट नो वेयर ही लिव्ड एंड रावण could have hidden Sita anywhere. He was controlling the whole planet Earth only on Jambu Dweep. Jambu Dweep mein he was, I'll tell you, you'll be shocked to see that. Actually, let me just zoom in. Okay. Now, a little bit, we'll drill down more further down. Ravan ruled the entire planet Earth, but he never crossed this area. I mean, his teams went here because he was scared. Here, who was living there? Maharishi Agastya. Agastya was living in near Nashik that time, on the banks of Godavari. Somewhere here in this area, Agastya Muni was living. If you see my mouse, do you see my mouse? Okay. S- Here somewhere Agastya Muni were living that time. So that he did not cross over there. Otherwise, he was everywhere. Therefore, search of Sita is the single biggest manhunt ever. Search for one person in the entire globe. Because Ravan could have hidden her in the middle of an island anywhere. So Sugriva's armies were told not to miss any cave on the planet Earth. Just imagine the task. You know, if I tell you, if in the whole Indian army, if I hide somebody in some cave in some Himalaya, just of the size of Uttarakhand, even the entire US army won't be able to search that person. Very difficult. Okay. Just understand, unless that person makes a mistake and comes out. Anil Gautam ji, which Ramayana and Mahabharata books are you using definitely? Reading One Arrow, One Kill. I hope you have. I have written all the books I've referred over there. So you'll see the information there, Anil Gautam ji. You know, I refer to only one Valmiki Ramayana, nobody else. एंड किम पुरुष वर्ष हेमकुंत पर्वत, इनकी लोकेशन है हनुमान जी के से रिलेटेड है? बिल्कुल है। हेमकुट हेमकुट हेमकूट किम पुरुष वर्ष, उसका मैंने पूरा डिटेल इन्फॉर्मेशन है, आप देखिएगा। और एक नया पुस्तक आ रही है मेरी, उसमें भी मैं डिटेल में और भी डिटेल में जा रहा हूँ। आई एम ऑल्सो लर्निंग, धीरे धीरे मैं एम फॉलोइंग द श्लोकास, आई एम ऑल्सो लर्निंग. Sugriva also appears in Devi Mahatma, Devi Saptashati Messenger Shumba Nishma. That's right. That's right. You're right. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है भक्ति के नाम पर मात्र मिठाई चढ़ाना जब करता. लिसन टू मी, ज्ञान से भक्ति नहीं आती, ज्ञान से घमंड आता है. ठीक है, अगर ठीक से सीखा नहीं है. अगर ज्ञान से विज्ञान नहीं हुआ तो उसे घमंड आता है. भक्ति से ज्ञान आता है और विज्ञान आता है. ओके, सो भक्ति हमेशा श्रेष्ठ रहती है. भगवान स्वयं बोलते हैं, भगवान तो आदेश देते हैं, मत भक्त्या पूज्या में तक. आपको आदेश दिया भक्त बनने का, आपको ज्ञानी बनने का आदेश नहीं दिया है. ये सब ये जो बेवकूफ वाला बातें लोग फैलाते हैं, तो वो सब भगवद गीता के विरुद्ध बात करते हैं. समझने की कोशिश करिए. सर आई एम 20 years old एंड माई रोल. तो मेरा बुक जरूर पढ़िए, नितिन राज. भारत में अवेलेबल है, प्राण ऑफ धर्म, अगर आप इंडिया से है। अगर अमेरिका में है तो युधिष्ठिर द ग्रेटेस्ट सम्राट, ऑल अबाउट युधिष्ठिर। व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ वानर, इस पे एक मेरा अलग वीडियो आप देख सकते हैं, स्टार यूजर, you can see my video on Vanar, this specific video on Vanar. Search a single person without such a great task. That's right. Anil Gautam ji, thank you. Where are you from, Anil Gautam ji? You can type over there. कहाँ से? You know? And एक क्वेश्चन ब्रो पूछ रहे हैं, who was Yavan that time? यवन का भाषा होता है, यवन मतलब होता है जो वेदों को रिजेक्ट करे, जो वेदों के अनुसार ना रहे, या जो मतलब अपने आप मन में रहे, यवन, उन्हीं को बोलते हैं यवन, है ना। और एक तरीके की जाति भी है, इस पे अलग डेफिनेशंस हैं। अ, देखिए शास्त्रों में यवन, म्लेच्छ, इन सब का अलग अलग डेफिनेशंस रहता है, कौन है यवन। और यवन एक तरीके की जाति भी है, जाति मतलब जिसका जन्म हुआ वो जाति है, एक तरीके का एंथ्रोपोलॉजिकल कैटेगरी भी है, बट क्वालिटेटिव कैटेगरी भी है। क्वालिटेटिव मतलब जो रिजेक्ट करते हैं वेदों को, वो भी है। तो दोनों डेफिनेशंस अप्लाई होती हैं यवन में। विद द हेल्प ऑफ एबल टू काउंटर विद देवदायक पटनायक, अनिल गौतम जी बोलते हैं। थैंक यू, थैंक यू। Ved Upadhyay is saying that I have started reading your book. Have you mentioned why and current? आप पढ़िए, उसके बाद मुझे क्वेश्चन पूछेगा। देयर इज अ होल डिटेल चैप्टर ऑन दैट, 12 proofs on Sri Lanka, and from Surya Siddhanta, from many places, many acharyas have said the same thing. और सिद्धियां क्या है, सिद्धियां क्या है, ये क्वेश्चन है ना, सिद्धियां क्या है, सिद्धियां क्या है, ये क्वेश्चन है। सिद्धि होते हैं सक्सेस, सिद्धि का मतलब है सक्सेस। जब आप योग मुद्रा में या फिर योग के प्रोसेस सिद्ध होते हैं, वो सिद्धियां हैं, वो उसको सिद्ध बोलते हैं, सिद्धियां। तो सक्सेस है अनिमा, लघिमा, प्रतिभा, प्राप्ति, किसी चीज को प्राप्त कर लेना, छोटे से छोटा बन जाना, हवा में उड़ जाना, बड़े से बड़ा हो जाना, ये योग सिद्धि है। 8 प्रकार की योग सिद्धि होती है। ये तंत्र योग में इसका बहुत यूज होता है। व्हाट वाज द एज ऑफ श्री राम जी सीता जी व्हेन दे मैरिड, ठीक है। इसके बारे में पूरा डिटेल मेरी पुस्तक में है, द ग्लोबल फुटप्रिंट ऑफ रामायण। और पहले पढ़िए, ये सब चीजें पढ़िए। हम लोग क्या होता है, गूगल के यूट्यूब पे वीडियोस में जा जाके हम लोग पढ़ना बंद कर देते हैं, और फिर हम कंट्रोवर्सीज में फंस जाते हैं, क्योंकि हमको पॉलिटिक्स अच्छी लगती है। आपको मसाला चाहिए, रामायण मसाले का पुस्तक नहीं है, मसाले के लिए पुस्तक नहीं है, उसके लिए आपको टीवी सीरियल भी देख सकते हैं। रामायण में भगवान राम के चरित्र के माध्यम से आप अपने बारे में सीखते हैं। राम के बारे में तो सीखते ही, पहले अपने बारे में सीखते हैं, ठीक है। तो इसलिए कब वो शादी हुआ, इससे आपका भक्ति थोड़ी डिपेंड करने वाला है। भगवान राम तो भगवान है। तो बुक पढ़ी है, उसमें मैंने डिटेल में आंसर किया है। आई कुडंट वेट, व्हाई डिडंट राम कैरी सुदर्शन चक्र, लाइक, क्योंकि वो मनुष्य के रूप में आए थे, उनका काम कार्य अलग था, इसलिए नहीं किया उन्होंने। एक तरफ एक तरफ रावण समस्त पृथ्वी को शासित करता, जो बलि सहस्त्र का भी शासन था, फिर दशरथ की रावण, रावण पे पूरी पृथ्वी पे उसका शासन चलता था, क्योंकि जहां मर्जी जाए वो अपने हिसाब से कार्य करता था, ओके। लेकिन जहां जहां महाराज दशरथ का शासन था उधर नहीं गया। तो इसका मतलब यह है कि रावण को भी एक्सेस था जहां पे दशरथ का भी शासन था, जहां जा सकता है। जैसे आजकल अमेरिका, चाहे कोई देश माने ना माने, उसका जाके अपनी बात करवा देता है। शासन, शासन का मतलब होता है लोगों को सही करना, ये होता है शासन। तो इस तरह रावण का भी शासन था। आज भी देखे ना, दादागिरी चलती रहती है, कहीं भी अमेरिका चाहे कुछ भी कर देते हैं ना। तो सेम वे चलता था, सेम वे। सर, इन वन एपिसोड यू आर टेलिंग फ्यूचर किंग मगध, व्हाट यू मेंट सर, नितिन राज। दैट इज अ, मगध के राजाओं की परंपरा अभी भी है, वो रहेगी, फ्यूचर में आएगी वो। युधिष्ठिर जस्ट ए चिल्ड्रंस फर्स्ट मास्टरपीस आई मीन लॉस एंजलिस आदित्य जी। ओके, थैंक यू अनिल गौतम जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। एंड TRS Priyadarshi, how many years ago Ramayana happened? Same as Charak Samhita period or before? TRS Priyadarshini, read the book, उसमें मैंने मेंशन किया है क्या पीरियड है। ओके, लेकिन अगेन डेट्स के ऊपर आपकी श्रद्धा नहीं बनती है, डेट्स के ऊपर आपका भक्ति नहीं बनती है, चरित्र पे आपकी भक्ति बनती है, चरित्र पे सेवा बनती है, चरित्र पे योग होता है। तो रामायण का जो मुख्य पर्पज है वो है आपका चरित्र निर्माण करना, हनुमान से सीखना किस तरह श्री राम की सेवा की जाती है। हनुमान जी अपनी जान पे खेल गए फॉर श्री राम, वो सीखना जरूरी है। सो ये जो डेट्स और इस पे हम लोग को ना, ये जो अब्राहमिज्म का जो बीमारी हमारे दिमाग में लग गया है, चोर की दाढ़ी में तिनका बोलते हैं हिंदी में, वो लोग अपना डेट्स प्रूव नहीं कर पाते हैं, पूरा मिथोलॉजी है, और हम लोगों को बोलते हैं आपका मिथोलॉजी है। वो तो हम लोग प्रूव कर दिया है कि हमारा सतोलॉजी है, उनका मिथोलॉजी है, प्रूव कर दिया हम लोगों ने। वेस्ट रामायण, वंदना पटेल, रामायण टाइम में वेस्ट पार्ट में लॉन्च हो लोग रहे थे, इन इंफॉर्मेशन। मेरी पूरी पुस्तक में है कि साउथ अमेरिका में सुग्रीव ने हर पहाड़, हर कंदरा, हर गुफा को छान मारा। नॉर्थ अमेरिका मतलब मैक्सिको इंक्लूडेड, नॉर्थ अमेरिका इसलिए नहीं गया क्योंकि नॉर्थ अमेरिका पूरा बर्फ से ढका हुआ था, ग्लेशियर था नॉर्थ अमेरिका। अब यह पता लगाइए कब ग्लेशियर था वो। ठीक है, इसके बारे में हम, उमेश जी, हम लोग सीता के बारे में कभी बाद में बात करेंगे। सर क्या आप बता सकते हैं कि हमारे शास्त्रों के अनुसार पृथ्वी सूर्य के चक्कर लगाती है या सूर्य? गुड क्वेश्चन। हमारे शास्त्रों के अनुसार एक ही सूर्य है, क्योंकि देखिए क्या है ना, वेद हमेशा सही प्रूव होते हैं, ये यूरोपियन साइंटिस्ट हमेशा गलत प्रूव होते हैं। ये असुरों का, असुर जो जाति है, असुर लोग हैं, ये हमेशा गलत प्रूव होते हैं लॉन्ग टर्म में, है ना। सो वेदों में लिखा है एक ही सूर्य है, एक ब्रह्मांड में एक सूर्य, और जितने भी तारे दिखते हैं वो ऋषि मुनियों के ग्रह हैं, ये वेदों में है। ओके, इसके और सूर्य के बारे में है, सूर्य जो है, जो मेरू पर्वत की उत्तरी दिशा से नीचे दक्षिण की तरफ जाता है, और फिर दक्षिण में फिर मूव करके वो पश्चिमी दिशा के अस्ताचल के पश्चिमी भाग से वो वापस जाता है। ठीक है, ये सूर्य के बारे में लिखा है, ये नहीं लिखा कि पृथ्वी मेरू पर्वत के चक्कर में घूम के सूर्य के आसपास घूमती है, ये नहीं लिखा। मैं इतना ही बोलूंगा, आपको उत्तर मिलना चाहिए। अरे भाई, हनुमान जयंती के दिन भगवान राम को बनाए, राम भक्ति दिवस बनाइए, फ्रेंडशिप डे नहीं, है ना। हनुमान जिन दिन के दिन जन्म जयंती पर श्री राम भक्ति दिवस करना चाहिए, समझे आप। एंड रोबर कुल बोलते हैं देश का भक्ति का व्यवहार अलग होता है, क्या ऐसा नहीं है? हनुमान जी की बात ही शक्ति से काम लेना, तुलसीदास की बात ही उनका ध्यान करना। देखिए, मैंने तुलसी रामायण नहीं पढ़ी है, लेकिन मैं बहुत प्रभावित उनकी भाषा से, मैं बहुत सारे दोहे देखता हूँ और सब बहुत सुंदर लिखा है उन्होंने। लेकिन वाल्मीकि रामायण में हनुमान जी का जो व्यक्तित्व है उसका अनुसरण हम आज भी कर सकते हैं, है ना। व्यायाम तो करना ही पड़ेगा सबको। देखिए, हमारे को फालतू में दिखा दे ना हॉलीवुड मूवीज में या बॉलीवुड मूवीज में कितना हीरो स्ट्रांग होता है। आप मुझे बताइए कौन से हिंदू ऐसे स्ट्रांग है ना। बहुत सारे हैं अच्छे अच्छे, मैं अच्छे अच्छे लोगों को जानता हूँ हमारे भारत में है, पंकज शर्मा जी बड़े स्ट्रांग है। बट शरीर को गठा रखिए श्री राम के जैसा, पढ़िए, और भगवान, इसी भगवान राम को कुछ जरूरत नहीं है सब चीजों की, लेकिन हनुमान जी करते हैं सेवा, योग साधना मंत्र शक्ति के द्वारा सुदृढ़ बनिए, ये हनुमान जी का मैसेज है, तब आप खुश रहेंगे। इनका है वेद उपाध्याय। आपने कोई सेशन किया है? आई हैव हर्ड फॉर स्टीलिंग आइडेंटिटी। मैं आपको बताऊं, यूरोपियंस कुछ भी चोरी नहीं कर सकते। सी हो रहा है, व्हाई आई टेल यू दिस। वो चोरी करने के बाद क्या बनाने वाले? कप। एक नया एप्पल फोन बना देंगे, ऐसा एप्पल फोन बना देंगे चोरी करके। उससे कोई चोरी हुआ? उसका मेन पर्पस लूज हो गया ना। हम लोग भी एप्पल फोन यूज करके प्रचार कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। चोरी का फायदा तो तब है जब वो योग सिद्धि करके कर्म बंधन से मुक्ति ले। इसका मतलब चोरी नहीं कर पाए ठीक से। हमारे वेदों का पर्पस ही है कर्म बंधन से मुक्ति। तो उन्होंने पूरा चोरी नहीं किया, आधा ही चोरी किया। तो मूर्ख व्यक्ति आधा ही चोरी करता है। अगर पूरा चोरी करता है तो मोक्ष के मार्ग में जाएगा। तो इससे डरना बंद करिए कि चोरी कर लिया, क्या चोरी करेगा वो। हमारे गुरुओं ने तो फ्री में दिया है सबको। ये हमारे ऋषि मुनि पूरी मनुष्यों के गुरु है, सिर्फ हिंदुओं के गुरु नहीं है। सो विल कवर। आज टाइम हो गया ऑलरेडी मेरा। थैंक यू सो मच, आप सब लोग जुड़े। और ऐसे ही मिलते रहिए और हम लोग कंटिन्यू करते रहेंगे अपने शोज। एंड वी विल सी यू इन नेक्स्ट वीक, यू नो, on Sunday with a good topic. Namaste.